And it worked. So now you can go to my YouTube channel. See, sometimes you just got to restart a program. So here's my YouTube channel. You can go to it right there and you can see me on YouTube. Okay. I think I'm about ready to start. So, oh, that kind of sucks. Well, I guess I have to look at that on here. All right, so today, hello everybody. Let's see who's here. Again, hello Nadia and Musif, hello Samira, hello Loleta, hello Esserhani, Seima, Hava, hello. Mohammed, hello. Valerie, hello. Good to see you again. Thank you very much, Hava. Hello, Razia. Hello, Lucky Girl. And Ava. And Lakshit, hello, namaste. Okay, so what are we going to do today? Today, I am not going to just answer questions. Today, I'm not going to answer any of your questions. So, I'm sorry. If you have questions, you'll have to wait until tomorrow. Today, I'm going to teach. All right? And I have prepared a lot to teach today. I'm going to teach you about vocabulary, and I'm going to teach you about history. Together, we're going to talk about the history of vocabulary. Okay? And hopefully I will show you that there are many other ways to learn vocabulary that are more interesting than memorizing. Okay. Hello, Oscar, and hello, Alma. Gaia, hello. Thank you. Yeah, I love this topic too. And yesterday, I spent probably half the day reviewing the history of many words. I probably looked at 300 words yesterday. So we're going to talk about as many of them as I can today. We're going to start with words that begin with the letters D-I-S. There are many English words. I think there are somewhere between 350 and 400 English words that have the letters D-I-S in the beginning. So there are a lot of dis words, and we're going to talk about dis and all the meanings of dis, and then all the meanings that go with those other words. Okay, yeah, discover, disappointment, disappear. That's right. There are a lot of dis words, okay? So how am I going to do this? How do I know all these things about words? I'm going to show you. This is a website that I love, and it also has an app, a free app. It's called etymonline.com, and it looks like this. This is the Online Etymology Dictionary. Look at that, OE. Okay, and etymology is the history of words. Where do they come from and how have they changed over time? That's what etymology means. It's the study of words, where they come from and how they've changed over time. Okay, so look, etymologies are not definitions. They are explanations of words, what words meant before and how they sounded 600 or even 2,000 years ago. Why does that help you? Because sometimes when you learn the history of the word, it's interesting, so it's easy to remember. And when you learn one word, it will teach you about a bunch of other words too. All right, so let's take a look at that today. And today we're going to start with this, D-I-S. Look right there. There it comes up. Okay, and if I click on dis, look at that right there. This is the word forming element of Latin origin. It comes from Latin. Dis. Okay, it means a lack of or not. That's the first possible meaning, or it could mean the opposite of, right? So dis, in the first word here, a lack of, not. Dishonest means you're not honest, okay? You don't have honesty. Or disallow means to do the opposite of, not allow, right? Apart or away, like discard, to throw away, apart, okay? So there are a bunch of meanings there. So let's take a look at some of the words. Look down here. Let's see. Where did I find that? One moment. There it is. 337 entries found. There are 337 words that have a relationship to this. Okay? So that's useful. It's a lot more efficient, right? So let's look at related entries and more. There we go. Look, disallow. Disallow. So dis means what? Not allow. Okay, to reject, to refuse. Disallow. Discard. Discard. This comes from playing cards. When you play poker, sometimes you have cards that you don't want, so you throw them away, apart or away. That's discard something. To discard means to get rid of something. Okay? Then we've got, look down here, all related words, okay? So let's keep looking. Discard, disdain. Disdain. To have disdain is to have bad feelings towards someone. So to think unworthy or worthless, to look upon somebody with contempt, that means you look at them, I don't like you. I don't like you. I have disdain for you. Okay, and dis means the opposite of, right here, the opposite of, and then it comes from this French word, this old French word, daigner, which means to treat as worthy. That comes from Latin, dignare. Dignare, to deem worthy or fit. Now look at this word, this Latin word, dignare. Dignare, it means to deem worthy or fit, to be worthy. It means good, right? Do you know any other English words that have the letters D-I-G-N? D-I-G-N. Anybody know any other words that have digna in them? Dignity. That's right, Ava. Dignity is a word, and it means to be worthy or fit. To have worthy or fitness of yourself is to have dignity, right? So look, this is what I'm saying. We're talking about one word, disdain, but this will show you, oh, look, that's the opposite of then denier, to treat as worthy. Ah, that comes from the Latin word dignare. You could have dignitary. What is a dignitary? Do you guys know what a dignitary is? A dignitary is an important person, like a diplomat, that you send to another country or another culture to do business or trade or politics or something like that. That's a dignitary. They are somebody that you deemed worthy to send somewhere. Dignification. Dignification. He's very dignified. Dignified. Oh, he's very dignified. It means he looks like he's very worthy. He looks like he's a nice person with a good background. He's dignified. Okay? He carries himself with good worth, I should say. Or how about the word, we talked about dignitary, dignify. What about let me see. Indignation. Do you know the word indignation? Indignation means disrespect because you think that they are not worthy. In this case, in means not, and then dignus, again, dignus means worthy, right? So indignation means I feel fury or rage towards somebody. Yes, Belen, and you have every right to. Okay, so you see, look, we're already finding new words. We were looking for one word, but we're already finding all these other interesting words that we can just find. Just like, wow, look, there's another new word to learn, right? Let's keep going. So now let's talk about dishonest. Dishonest, right? So the word honest is related to the word honor, honorable, right? Okay, so those are related. Do you know honest? Okay, great. If you know honest, do you know honor and honorable? If you know honest, why not learn honor and honorable? They're related. To have honor, to be honorable. Honorific. Honorific is like when you call someone sir or ma'am. That's an honorific. It means you're showing respect. You're showing honor. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, this is a fun one. The family name Spencer. There are many people in America with the family name Spencer. This name has two original meanings. One meaning was like what it says here. It says dispensier. Dispensier was the dispenser of provisions. It means the person who gave provisions. Provisions means the things you need, right? So it was the butler or steward. It was a person who was in charge of all the things you have, like food and whatever, right? That was the butler, okay? And the name Spencer means that your family was either a butler, like a family of servants of some kind, but not low servants. A butler was a pretty high-level servant. They were in charge of a lot of important things, so they were considered pretty high level, a butler, okay? But then there was another family name, Spencer, like, what's her name? Princess Diana. If I remember correctly, Princess Diana's family name was Spencer. And that was because there were some people who were the rich people and they could dispense things, means to give. They had something to give. They were the dispensers. They had things to give. They were rich. So Spencer is short for dispenser, which means the people who have something to give. They're rich. I thought that was really interesting. I know many people named Spencer. None of them are rich. Okay, let's keep going. I know I'm a nerd, but I love this stuff. Let's keep going. What about the word spend? Spend is also related to dis. How? Let's take a look. It's related to the word dispense. to spend money comes from the word to dispense, meaning to give out your money. Okay, so dispense, we just said, was from the Spencer word, right? Dispenser, right? Meaning to distribute, to give out. So, and then look, it says another form of the word is spender. Spender. A person who spends, they probably have money, right? So, to spend comes from the word dispense. So it's another dis word. All right? So the words spent, spend, dispense, they're all related. And they mean to give out something, your money, your energy, whatever. Okay? How about the word splay? Do you guys know the word splay? Splay comes from this word that you do know, Dana. Display. I bet you know that word. To display something. What does display mean? Yeah, to display your things, to display your products, to display your wares, to display your clothing, to display your art, to display your ability. To show. That's right. It means to show. But the original meaning of this word, so splay is a short word that comes from display. Splay means spread out awkwardly, right? So, like, you know how some guys, when they go on the subway, when they're on the subway, when they sit like this. Like they've never been on a subway before. They have their legs really, really wide. That's splayed out. Your legs are splayed out. Okay? And that comes from the word display. And the word display, let's look at display. Display means unfold. So dis means un. Okay, not or apart, right? And then the last part, play, comes from the word plicare, which means to fold. So the word display means to unfold. Why does it mean to unfold? Originally, it was talking about like a flag. When you unfold a flag, you display it. Or if you are a merchant, if you sell things, then you put them out on a table so everyone can see them. You unfold the table. You display things, right? You display your products, okay? So splay and display are both related. Or do you know anybody who, when they stand, their feet don't go like this, their feet go like this? Is my screen frozen? Hello? No, it's not frozen. Okay, no, I just haven't moved it for a while. Okay, but do you know anybody whose feet are like this? Samira, I think maybe you have to leave and come back, because I think everybody else can see me. Not sit like that, but stand like that. Like when they stand, their feet don't go forward. Their feet are kind of like, they're always out like this. That's called splayed foot. To splay your feet. Okay? All right, let's keep going. There was splay. How about sport? This is one of my favorite words to talk about because you guys love sports, don't you? You love sports, don't you? I know you do. I know you do, but you all know that I don't really like sports. But do you know why? Why do I not like sports? Well, let's find out what sports are for. Why do people do sports? When you look at the original meaning of the word, you will find out why. The word sport comes originally from the Latin word disport. Here, disport. That's the original word, disport. Dis means away. Dis means away, to away. And then port means to carry. So the word sport comes from the word disport, which means away, carry. What are they carrying away? You left and came back, but you don't see anything on the screen yet. Okay, wait a minute. Let me stop sharing. I'll try sharing again. Seems like maybe there's some internet trouble today. How about this? What do you see now? Do you see sport? Now it's good? Okay, yeah, I think there's some sort of a weird internet thing going on today, so... All right, so again, the word sport comes from the word disport. Disport means to carry away. So I'm asking you now, when you play sports, what are you carrying away? Disport. Away, carry. That's what it means. So what are you carrying away when you play sports? It's not a ball. The answer is not a ball. What are you carrying away when you play sports? What does this say right here? To carry away. Can you see that? Can you see that? Anybody? To carry away. Can you read that? The mind from what? Serious matters. Serious matters. That's what sports were. Sports were originally, the word sport comes from Latin and Greek. And the Greeks, they played sports. And the Romans, they played sports. But the original word sport was meant to be something that distracts you from the important things. That was why they were created. And that's still why they are here. They are fun. Yes, they are fun. But they're fun with a purpose of not always a good purpose. So if you want to carry your mind away for a while, that's fine. But if somebody is encouraging you to carry your mind away for a while, that's not fine. Do you understand? So if you like sports and you like to relax and take your mind off of things a little bit sometimes, fine. That's normal. But if you watch sports all the time, and you always find yourself watching them, then maybe you are not watching them because you enjoy them. You're watching them because they want you to watch them. They want you to be distracted. Because while you're watching the game, they're stealing your money. Even the Romans called it bread and circuses. Bread and circuses is what the Romans called it. They believed that if you give the people bread, which means food, and circuses, which means entertainment, if you give people food and entertainment, you can keep them fat and happy, and then they won't bother you in politics. They won't pay attention to politics. They're fat and happy. So, I am here to preach the other side. I know most people love sports. I understand that. Everybody knows why you like sports. I'm here to tell you why I don't. And the reason why I don't goes back to the beginning of the word, where the word was created. It was created as an idea of this is an activity that you can do to take your mind away from important things. And that's okay if it's what you do personally to take your mind away. But if somebody is using it against you, that's not okay. Fat and happy, that's right. Yeah, so look, this is not a political thing. I'm not talking about politics. I'm just saying that this idea has been around for a long time. That entertainment is okay. But if entertainment, any kind of entertainment, if it becomes something that is being used to distract you, wake up and recognize that. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Okay? Okay, next, let's keep working. Let me find the next word here. Let me share the screen again. Okay, so that was sports. We're talking about sports. So the word sport comes from disport. Okay? And by the way, do you know how many words in English have the word port in them? Port comes from this root word, but let's look. Look at these words. These are all words that come from port. Comport, deport, disport, emporium, export, import. Let's see. How about some of these are hard to understand, but important, importune, opportune, opportunity, passport, transport, port, porch, pour. All of these are related to the word port, which means to carry. All right? Port is a great root. There are a lot of English words that have this root. Okay? A lot of them. So it's a great root to learn. I just wanted to show you that. Okay, let's keep going. This is another fun one. The word address. The word address. What is an address, everybody? What is an address? Address is the place you live in. That's right. So, the original meaning of the word address, actually, it comes from this Latin word, adirectiare, which means to make straight. To make straight. Why is that the meaning? To make straight. Why is the meaning of address to make straight? Or direct. Look, it's from the word direct. Directus means direct. So why is the address direct? Because I could tell you, you need to go down this street and turn right and go down 2 blocks, and then you need to turn left and go down 3 blocks. Then you need to turn right again and then left again. I could give you directions, or I could tell you the direct way to go there by giving you the address. So address comes from the word addirectiare, meaning to direct someone easily. Straight there. Straight there. This is the address. Go there. Okay? So that's where the word address comes from. Okay? And if you look over here, it actually says that it's the word direct. Direct comes from the word regere. Regere is an old Latin word that means to rule, to make straight, or to direct, or to rule. So there are a lot of reg words. Do you know any reg words in English? Reg. Regret. Now that one I think might come from another word. Let me double check. I want to say that's French. Regretons. Regretter. Yeah, so that is from... Yeah, that one is not from this. That's R-E. R-E meaning again. But regular, what does regular mean? What does regular mean if it's regular? Regularly. Yeah, it's normal, right? But regular means it goes with the rules. It's not against the rules, it's with the rules. It's regular, right? So reg means direct or rule. There's also the word regal. Do you know the word regal? He's very regal. R-E-G-A-L. Regal. It means like a king. Like a king. He's regal. Very regal. It's the way you look, the way you act is regal. Like a king. It comes from the word reg, meaning to rule, because a king rules. Yeah, and the word royal is related to regal. What about the word regent? Regent. Do you know the word regent? R-E-G-E-N-T. Regent. A regent is another kind of local ruler. So he's not the king, but he's somebody that the king put in charge. So reg, again, reg, he's part of the ruler. What about the word, do you guys know this dinosaur? I can't spell it. Is that it? I want to say that's it. I think there should be a double R or double S, but what is it? Tyran. There it is. Double N. Yeah, check this out. What about this word? Do you guys know this one? Tyrannosaurus Rex. T-Rex. What does Rex mean? Do you guys know? Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannus means terrible. Terrible. Saurus means lizard. And Rex means king. So Tyrannosaurus Rex means terrible lizard king. That's what a T-Rex is. Okay, Rex is from reg, also meaning king. Okay, There are lots of reg words. Let's look at all the reg words. Let me show you some that mean to rule. So, for example, like the word Raj and Raja. Where did those words come from, my Indian friends? Look at Raj. Look at Raj. British rule in India, from Hindi, Raj meaning rule, which also comes from the same root, meaning reg, to rule. Godzilla, Waleed, comes from Japanese, Gojira. Gojira, which the original meaning was what? It meant it was supposed to sound like the word gorira, which was the word gorilla, or kujira, which is the word whale. So it was the combination in Japanese. They combined two Japanese words, gorira and kujira. So when you put those together, you got Gojira, which is Godzilla. Okay. All right, but back to this Raj. Even the word Raj comes from reg. Okay. Rank. The word rank. What is a rank? What is a rank? Anybody know the word rank? Not a vote. No. Classify. That's right. Yeah. It's like. Are you the captain, or are you the lieutenant, or the sergeant, or where are you? What rank are you, right? It's like, are you the best or the worst? That's a ranking system. And the word rank is also related to the word reg, because it means how close are you to the king? Are you the king, or are you below the king? That's where rank comes from. Okay, how about the word realm? Realm, what is a realm? Anybody know that old word? It's kind of an old word. We don't use it that much anymore, but realm. The king has a realm. It's the area of the king. That's right. It's where he rules. So realm is also related to the R-E-G, reg, to rule. It has the R-E in the beginning of it, right? How about the word, let me find a good one. We said regal, regent, regicide. Regicide, anybody know what that means? Regicide? Anyone want to guess what regicide is? Do you know any other words that sound like iside? Iside, homicide. Homicide means killing a person. Okay, regicide means killing a king. To kill a king is to the regicide. Okay? Regime, the word regime. Regime is the people of the king. Reg, again, R-E-G. R-E-G is in there. Regimen. What is a regimen? Anybody? Regimen or regiment? These two words? Do you guys know those words? If you don't know these words, it's okay. It's okay. A lot of these words are difficult words. I'm just showing you. A regiment is a military unit. That's right. What about the word regimen? No T. Regimen. Regimen is like the things that you do every day. That's your regimen. It's the rules that you follow. Reg, rules. Regiment is a group of soldiers for the king, a military unit. Region. Region is an area. Region, an area of what? Of the king's land. Reg. Regular. We said regular means normal. It follows the rules. Rules. Reg. Regulate. To regulate means to make it follow the rules. Reg. Again, reg. Reich. The Third Reich. They were always talking about the Third Reich. Reich is the word that means realm in German. So Reich was another word that comes from reg. Reign. To reign. Reign. R-E-I-G-N means to rule. To reign over something. His reign as king means his rule. He was the ruler. R-E-G. Okay? There's Rex we talked about. Look, even the word rich. Rich, everybody. The word rich is related to the word reg, meaning ruler. Can you guys see the screen? Are we having connection problems again? There are some connection problems happening today. Let me stop and I'll share again. I don't know what's going on with Hello Talk. I'll tell them. Wait a minute. Stop sharing. Yeah, there must be some sort of a problem. Let's take a look. Look, here's the word rich. Can you see it now? Yeah? Okay. So yeah, it looks like it's getting stuck. I'll have to tell them it's getting stuck when I share my screen. But the word rich is originally from which word? German Reich, rich, ruler, Reichs. Oh, look at that. What is that right here? Reg. Reg. Okay, so even the word rich, if you are rich, then probably you could be a king or you know the king. All right? Yeah, please tell me. So I just changed the screen. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen here? I'm moving it. Reg. Yes? Okay, good. So now look here. These are words that come from reg. These are words that come from reg. Now, many of these words are too difficult and you don't know them, and it's okay. But I'm going to show you some that maybe you do know, okay? We already talked about some. I said here, Raj, Raja. Those are words in India that mean a ruler or a king or a leader, okay? Rank. We talked about rank means what order are you? How close are you to the king? Realm means the land of the king. Okay? Over here, let's see. Regal, regent, regicide, regime, regimen, regiment, region, regular, regulate. What do they all have in common? What do they all have in common? Everybody? Reg. That's right, reg. Okay, and the word reign, to reign. Your reign over the people is the ruler. You're the ruler. To reign over someone is to rule. Okay? And there's the word rich we talked about. Even the word right. Right. Let's look at the word right. Can you see that? I just changed the screen. Can you see it? Right? Yes? Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so look, the word right means just, fair, and good, or it means in conformity with the law. So it means correct. Reg. With the law, with the rules. It follows the rules, so it is right. So even the word right is related to the word reg. Okay? It's a straight line. It's the ruler. It's the way you direct someone. Okay? How about royal? There we said royal, also related to reg. Can you guys see that? Royal? And rule, related to reg. Okay? So, can you see why this is a good way to learn vocabulary? Can you see why this is an interesting way to look at vocabulary? Because so many words are related. Makes it a lot easier than learning one. Okay? That's right, authoritarian regime, dosage regimen, the enemy's regiment, right? That's so easy. Look at that. It's so much easier than trying to force your brain to remember, because this is interesting. Wow, all those words are connected. The word rich and the word right and the word king are related. That's interesting. Okay? What about the word gentle? What does gentle mean? Gentle means kind, right? Yeah, that's what we think gentle means. We think it means kind. But a long time ago, the word gentle did not mean kind. The word gentle meant noble. That's right. The gentility, the Gentiles, the gentles were the rich people. Okay, so the word gentleman was originally a word that was only used for rich people, not poor people. A long time ago, that was a classification of people, of person. You're rich, you're a gentle person, you're a gentleman. It's mind-blowing, right? Gaia, there are so many mind-blowing words. How about this one? How about, I'm going to blow your mind, Gaia, and particularly you, Gaia, because you're Italian, so a lot of these are Latin, so you know a lot of these. You know, most of the words I'm talking about are Latin, Greek origin, so a lot of these you know. But how about this word, everybody? Do you know what goodbye means? What does goodbye mean? See you. Well, anything else? Goodbye. A long time ago, people used to write this. God be with you. And over time, God be with you became goodbye. So even goodbye is funny. It's a religious word. People don't know they're saying a religious thing. They're saying, God be with you. Goodbye. Isn't that funny? So many words that you don't know the original meaning of. Yeah, okay, let me give you another fun one. How about the word coach? Coach. What is a coach? Does it come from Greek? You mean goodbye? No. It's Old English. God be with ye, meaning like ye old, it means it was you. The ye was old, you a long time ago. Okay, so what is a coach? A coach is a supervisor, a trainer, right? Okay, a brand name, that's right. But the word coach a long time ago had a different meaning. It had a very different meaning. It was a kind of transportation. Did you know that? So, for example, in the fairy tale Cinderella, you guys know Cinderella, right? What is this? Let me show you a picture. What is this thing called? Let me find a good picture. What is this called? What's that called? Not a cart. Not a wagon. This was called a coach. This is the first word that means coach. Yes. Why was this a coach? Because what does a coach do? What does a coach do? A coach helps you. A coach helps you get to your goal, right? They help you get to your goal. So what does this do? It helps you get to your goal. Now, where does this word come from? The word coach has a very interesting origin. Originally, the word coach, let me find it for you. Wait a minute. There it is. In Hungary, in the country of Hungary, there is a city, and that city is called Kocs, and the pronunciation of that word is Kosh. Why? Because in what year was it? I think it was in the 15th century, around 14-something, 1450, 1480, who knows. They created a very special kind of wagon, coach, that was much less bouncy, right? So coaches, when you would ride in them, it was very bouncy, right? It was very rough. But they made one that was much more smooth. And the city that made it was Kosh. So the word coach. Kosh was a city where they made a new kind of better coach. And a coach is a thing that gets you from one place to another. It helps you get to your goal. And that's what a coach does. Yeah, they had a better suspension system, Samira. The suspension system, they created a new kind of suspension system that made it more smooth when you ride. So, it was the most popular one. It was the most popular kind of coach. I think that's super interesting. I was like, wow, that's cool. The word coach comes from a city? You know? Yeah, it was like the ancient Mercedes. That's right. That's right. There are so many of them. I mean, I can keep going. Let me give you some more words that have really interesting background. Like, how about this one? Sabotage. What does sabotage mean? Not quite to boycott, but you're close. Gaia says to ruin something, to destroy something. That's right. So this word comes from the late 1800s, early 1900s in France and in, what was it? Wait a minute. France, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, they had a kind of shoe. There was a kind of shoe that was made from wood. Wooden shoes called a sabot. S-A-B-O-T. S-A-B-O-T was a kind of shoe. Now, those shoes were made in a factory. They were made in a factory, and it was hard work to make those shoes. Very hard work, okay? Now, there are two stories about this word. One story, they think it's just a story, but it's a fun story, so I'm going to tell you, okay? The fun story is that the workers were angry, so to break the machines, they took the wooden shoes and they threw the wooden shoe into the machine, and it broke the machine. Okay, now that's the fun story, but that's not really what did happen, but I do know what did happen. The real thing that happened was the workers at the factories for shoes, they would go to work and they would work, but they would work really poorly on purpose. They would deliberately try to work really slowly and poorly. That is what we call sabotage. Sabotage comes from this story about French and Belgian factory workers. Let me find some more interesting stories. Let's see. How about the word... decimate. You were talking about destroy. I'll get to destroy, but no, it doesn't. It's not related to the word Troy. But the word decimate is an interesting one. Decimate. Do you guys know what decimate means? To decimate something. Decimate. To reduce. That's right. Yeah. This word came to Russian too, okay? So the original meaning, yeah. So Ornella says drastically, but it's actually very interesting. The meaning is not true to the original meaning. The original meaning of decimate comes from the Roman Empire. Sometimes a city or some group of people or maybe a boat, like a ship. Maybe there were some people who were rebelling. They were bad. They needed to be punished, right? For being rebellious. So the Romans had a special kind of punishment where they would just randomly pick 1 out of 10 people and just kill you. So it was a random punishment that the Romans used to maintain control. If your city was out of control, the Romans would just come and they would just take 10 people and kill 1. Another 10 people, kill 1. Another 10 people, kill 1. So 1 out of 10 was decimate. But now, when we talk about the word now, to decimate really does have a meaning that means like destroy completely or to reduce seriously. So it's funny because the meaning that we use now is more like 9 out of 10 killed. But the original meaning was really 1 out of 10. Okay? Waleed, I don't know what that first word is that you're writing, but the second word is right. Like century, centuria, 100 soldiers, that's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are a ton of words that come from the Romans that are really interesting, like the word salary. We've talked about that before. All you Italians, you guys will know this one, so be quiet. What does salary mean? What's a salary? A salary is a payroll. That's right. But Hajar, the word salary is related to the word salt. Because one of the ways the Roman Empire paid their people and their soldiers, they paid their soldiers with salt. Salt was very valuable, It was very expensive and very valuable. So they would give the soldiers some salt as payment. Yeah, you knew that one. Salary is from salt. That's right. Let's see. What about the word? Let me think of a good one. Blackmail. What is blackmail? Not pepper, no. What is blackmail, everybody? You guys know what blackmail means? To demand money with some threat. Yeah, to demand money with some threat is blackmail, okay? But this word originally comes from Scotland and England. A long time ago, the Scottish and the English people, they fought about land. You know, this is my land. No, this is my land. They fought a lot about who owned the land, okay? And in that area, if you lived around the border, then there were these people. There was a group of people, like a gang. They would go around and they would say, hey, it would be really terrible if someone came and burned your farm. That would be terrible. If you pay me money, I'll make sure that doesn't happen. Black meant evil. Black just meant evil. And mail was a word that meant rent or money paid. So blackmail was evil money. It was money that you paid to bad people because they were threatening you. Okay? Now, later the word became much, much bigger to mean any kind of extortion or you know, when you demand money for something, that's blackmail. Okay? But the original meaning comes from this story. Let's see. There are a bunch of words that come from that area. I've told this story many times, but it's a great story, so I'm going to tell it now. Do you guys know who Neil Armstrong is? Who's Neil Armstrong? Anybody? First man to step on the moon. That's right. Okay, so he's a very famous guy. Now, after he got off the moon, and he came back. When he came back, he decided, I want to go to Scotland, where my family is originally from. So he traveled to Scotland to his the village from where his family was from. Okay? So Neil Armstrong went to Scotland to go see where his family originally comes from, right? Now, when he got there, the mayor of the town, he came out and he showed them a rule, a law. It was a law that said any Armstrong found in town, kill them. Any Armstrong found in town, you should kill them. And Neil was like, what? What's going on here? And the reason why is because the Armstrong name was a very famous Scottish name. There were many Scottish families that were from this border area. Okay? Let me see. What were the Scottish names from the border? Let me see. Their famous names. Scottish border family names. Like Armstrong, Elliot, Scott, Graham, Bell, Maxwell, Johnstone. Those are all famous Scottish names from around that border area. Okay? So those people The British, the English, they thought that they are they're rebels. They're rebellious. They're rebels, right? They're the border reivers. They called them the border reivers. Reiver was an old word that meant robber. They steal. They steal. The British considered them to be thieves. Okay, they were land thieves. All right, but do you know the word? Okay, well, wait. Let me show you something. So these people were called the border reivers. Did I spell that right? Let me make sure. Reivers. Reivers. There it is. So those are called the border, well, except I spelled border wrong too. Border, Reivers, reivers. There it is. The border reivers. And reiver means robber. Now, do you know any other English words that have the sound reeve in them? Reeve. Reeve. Probably, this is a little hard. This is a little hard. There it is. Samira got it. Samira got it. The first one, retrieve. And what does retrieve means? It means to get something back, because the reivers were always fighting with the land about, this is mine. No, I'm going to take it back. No, I'm going to take it back. No, I'm going to take it back. They were always retrieving. And so, reeve, it's in there. Retrieve. To get back something that was taken from you. That comes from this story. That's cool, right? How about this one? There's another word that you probably don't know, but it's a good word to learn. Bereaved. Bereaved. Do you know what bereaved means? Bereaved. Yeah, to be bereaved means to be sad because someone died. You're sad because someone died. And again, this comes from this story about the British and the Scottish fighting, because when you fight about land, sometimes people die. So retrieve and bereaved all come from this story about the reivers. Okay? Vendetta and vigilante, those come from Italian. Vendetta comes from Italian. Vigilante is from Italian but Latin, if I remember right, before that. Vendetta is from Italian, Waleed. Vigilante, they're both from Latin roots, but no, actually no. Vendetta, I think, is not a Latin root. I think it's just an Italian root from, yeah. It's, so the word vendetta is only from around the 1800s, okay? And a vendetta means a revenge, right? You want revenge on somebody. Okay, that's a vendetta. A private war is a vendetta. But the word vigilante... Vigilante comes from the word vigilantum, which means watchful, careful, anxious, because... the original vigilantes, what does vigilante mean? Now, when we say vigilante, he's a vigilante, what does it mean? Yeah, vigilare. Yeah, that's right. To be vigilant. To stay alert. Right. So the original vigilantes, when we say the word vigilante now, it means somebody who decided that they don't want to use the police, they don't want to talk to the police or use the law, they want to take care of something themselves. They want to use justice They want to do justice themselves. That's a vigilante. But the original vigilantes were just neighborhood. It was the neighborhood watch. It was the neighborhood watch. It was a bunch of people who would walk around and be vigilant. And they would say, oh, look, I see a bad guy. Let's get him. All right? So now when we think of the word vigilante, we think it's a pretty bad thing usually. You know, somebody who's, they don't use the law. They do things themselves. But the original meaning was a group of people who would go witness, they would watch, they would look for the bad guys. They were vigilant. To be vigilant means to be alert, to watch. Okay? Pharmacovigilance. Well, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. I can imagine what it means. But that's interesting. I've never seen that version of it. Okay, do I have any other cool stories I want to impart to you before I finish? Let's take a look at my list of words and see, do I have any other cool ones to give you? Oh, here's a fun one. What about the word snob? Do you guys know what a snob is? What's a snob? A snob is a person, when we say this word now, it means a person who they think they're better than you, they're rich, they have money, they think they're better than you, they look down on you. Okay, so when I say the word snob, I usually do this. I go, oh, look, he's a snob. Because snobs, they look at you like this. A normal person will look at you in the eyes, but a snob will look at you like this. They're looking down on you. Okay? Now, this word is very funny. The original meaning of snob, it means a shoemaker. They made shoes. That was a snob. I'm going to go down to the snob store. Because he made shoes. But guess what? Shoes were a very important thing a long time ago. 500 years ago, the shoemaker was that was a good job. That was a very good job. So you made some money. So this word snob, the original meaning of snob meant a shoemaker or a merchant. Somebody who sold something, they had a good job, they made money. Okay? But then the meaning changed. A couple hundred years later, the meaning of snob was a normal, regular person, not a rich person. And then another 100 years later, the meaning changed back again. And it became a meaning of somebody who thinks they're better than you. They have money, they're rich, they think they're better than you. That's a snob. But it's kind of funny because the original meaning of snob just means a shoemaker. A shoemaker. We say, avere la puzza sotto il naso. Literally to have a bad smell below your nose. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's funny. Avere la puzza sotto il naso. I can understand. Okay, let me go back and keep going because I'm a nerd. I could do this all day. All right, so let's go on. And now let's do this word. Sure, we'll do this word. It's a hard word, but do you know this word? Adroit. Adroit. Do you know this word? To be adroit, and now it means to be very good at something. Okay, it's to be skillful, to be adroit. But the original meaning of the word adroit means rightly. It comes from French, adroit. And if you look here, ad means just to, and then droit, meaning right. So it means to the right. But why is it right? In this case, the word right has two meanings. It could be the right side of your body, or it could be right, correct, just, lawful. So the word adroit, basically, it means now just somebody who's very good at something. Okay, you're very good at that. He's adroit at this thing. Okay, skillful. Okay? No, I am wrong. What am I wrong about, English learner? Please enlighten me. I love it when people come to tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me, what am I wrong about? I didn't know you were the teacher. Please, teacher, teach me. I'm waiting. Anyone? English learner, are you going to tell me what I'm wrong about? I hope you're trying to, because I want to know, what is it that you think I'm wrong about? I'm waiting to find out. I don't know what I'm wrong about. I don't think I... Yeah, he's not here anymore. I don't know. He probably left. Is he? It was only funny. Well, I don't know. Well, all I will say is this. If you can't tell me why I'm wrong, then you probably better just listen, especially if your name is English Learner and my name is Teacher Mark. That might mean something. Okay, let's go to the next page. Next page. Debacle. Debacle. What is a debacle? Can you guys see that debacle? Do I need to change the screen again? Can you guys see debacle? Yes, good. Okay, good. So what is a debacle? A debacle means a disaster. It's a disaster. But why does it mean disaster? The original meaning of the word debacle means collapse, a collapse. Okay? And the reason why is because in French, débâcler means to free, to unbar. And it was the idea that I want you to think about a river. There's a river in the winter. Oh, well, look at that. See, we had a misunderstanding. He wasn't saying I'm wrong. He was saying I'm in the wrong place because I'm too good to be on Hello Talk. That's okay, English learner. That's okay. It just was a little bit funny when I just saw that, no, you're wrong. Usually people are not that bold to just say you're wrong. But that's okay. You just had a typo. That's all right. It happens. So a debacle, everybody. Let's go back. We're talking about the winter time. In the winter time, there's a river, and the river is frozen with ice. Okay, the river is frozen with ice. But in the spring, it starts to melt. What happens to that river if a bunch of that ice breaks and melts? What happens to that river? Anybody? If you see a frozen river and a bunch of that ice breaks, then it will level up. It'll flood, right? It floods. So the word debacle, now when we say the word, oh, this is a debacle, that means like a big problem, a mess. It's a mess. It's a big mess, okay? It's a big problem because this was a big problem. In the spring, when the water would freeze and then melt, it would make a flood of ice and water that would cause damage, a lot of damage, right? It was a violent flood. So it was a debacle, okay? Oh, and I almost forgot to go back and do that. So the word destroy, you were asking where does destroy come from? Destroy comes from the Latin word destruere, meaning to tear down or to demolish. So the word de means not, down. And then struere means to build. So the word destroy means to unbuild. That's what destroy means. It's not related to the city of Troy. That's just a coincidence, Waleed. They just are spelled similarly, but there's no relationship. Okay? Trojan is related to the word Troy. Trojan were things from Troy, right? So it's a Trojan horse. And that is another meaning now. A Trojan horse means some kind of a trick that you use to get inside. That's a Trojan horse. Okay? What does rehabilitated mean? In this case, rehabilitated means again, and habilitated comes from habilitatus, I believe, which was it's like the word habitual and habit. All of those come from the same meaning. So it means to make new again, to rehabilitate, to make new again. Right? So we usually use this word when we talk about maybe you have an old house. You have an old house, so you want to make it new again, so we rehab the house. Or if you are sick, maybe you broke your leg, so now you have to go to rehabilitation, which means to again habilitate, to give habit. It means to teach yourself how to walk again, or teach yourself how to use it again. Again, habit, to make it habit again. What about the word reduce? To reduce, again, whoops, what happened? Yeah, man, my internet is weird today. Reduce comes from the Latin word reducere, meaning to lead back or bring back or restore. So reduce comes from the re means again, And then ducere means to bring or lead. So, no, I'm sorry. In reduce does not mean again. It means back. Sorry. It doesn't mean again, it means back. So the word reduce means to bring back. To bring back. Like make lower. Right? I think it's to be able, again, from habilis. That's right. Is it from able or habit? Let me check. What is wrong with my internet? Let me check it. Rehabilitation, rehabilitationum, comes from again, habilitare. I was right. Habile, meaning to be fit. So you're right, too. It comes from the word able, but it's from the Latin word habilitare, meaning habit. That's where we get habit from, too. Habile. Habilitate. Yeah. So yeah, look, all of these words, you can look at them all and you can find them, to reduce smoking. It's another kind of rehabilitation. It means to rehabilitate or to make it a new habit, right? So, yeah, or to make it, let me see, rehabilitatio. Let me check something. Habile. Habilitare. Let's check it. Let's check this. Grr, what is wrong with you? Grr, habit. Okay, habit comes from habitus, from habere. Oh, okay, I was wrong. Okay, see, it happens. Occasionally I'm wrong. So habilis is not from habit. Habit is from habitus or habere. Habilitate comes from habilitare, habil meaning fit or suitable or able. So, Ornella, you're right and I'm wrong. Never, ever talk to a teacher unless they can say those words. I met a teacher just a few days ago who is one of those teachers who cannot admit when she's wrong. We had an argument and I debated her and I gave her data after data after data, so much data, to show that she was wrong. And even after I made it so clear that there's no argument, that her argument is completely garbage, she was unable to even make any concession. She was not able to say anything about, she just said, no, you're wrong. Any teacher who can't admit when they're wrong or when they've made a mistake, do not study with that teacher. That's a huge red flag. Huge red flag. Rehabilitation and physiotherapy are the same meaning. Not exactly, Rayon. Rehabilitation is a much more general, big word. It has one medical meaning, but it has many other meanings. Physiotherapy is a medical word. Physio meaning of the body and therapy meaning exercise or things that you do to get better, right? So physiotherapy is a specific medical term. Manifesto is from Italian, I believe. Whoops. Wrong word. Search. Italian, manifesto, 1640s. comes from the Latin word manifestus. It means manifest. If something is manifest, it means it's clear. It's clear that this is true. So a manifesto is a document that you write. It's something that you write that shows clearly what you believe. Okay, that's something that shows clearly what you believe. A manifesto comes from the word manifest, meaning clear. Okay? Yeah, and Ornella, Latin, it's so easy to get confused with different words like habilis and like this one, right? Where there's one word that's habila and one is habit, and they sound similar, they look similar, they're spelled similarly, but they're from different roots. So it's very easy to occasionally mix one up. All right. I think I'm going to end here, and I got 10 more minutes till 12 o'clock. So let me see if I have any other cool words to teach you. Oh, did I totally miss my people over here? Hello, Say Mosley. Are you the only one there? Probably. Well, no, there's a couple people over in my YouTube. All right, let's see. Let me find another fun word to teach you. What about the word romantic? What does romantic mean? And that's right. Sometimes the similar sounds or spellings mean nothing, right? Like D-I-S and D-E-S or whatever. They might be the same. That's right. Yeah. So what does romantic mean? Manifesto, Waleed. A manifesto is a book or a document that you wrote that shows your ideas. And the word manifesto comes from the Latin word manifestus, which means clearly true or clearly evident or obvious. So a manifesto is what you write to show somebody what you clearly believe. These are my beliefs. I'm going to clearly write them. That's my manifesto. All right? So, romantic, is it related to Rome somehow? That's right. Quinn says romantic means love, but that's what it means now. But it didn't really mean that originally. Romantic stories were stories that the Roman people liked. And these stories were stories about a hero. They loved a story about a hero, right? So it wasn't about the love, it was about a hero. But what does a hero often do? A hero often saves a woman or helps a woman. So romantic became about love. But originally, romantic stories were just stories about a hero going to do something good. It was a story about a hero. The Romans, they were like the Greeks. The Greeks loved a story about a hero. They had so many stories about heroes, right? And so the Romans loved the Greeks, so they loved stories about heroes too. Okay? Waleed says Hercules, but Hercules is Greek or Roman. So like I said, Waleed, the Greeks come before the Romans, right? The Greek history, as we study it, is before Roman history. But the Romans really admired the Greeks. So, Waleed, all of the Roman gods are named after the Greek gods. They're just different names. Okay, so every Greek god has the same name in the Roman Latin, right? They had a different name for it, but they were the same. Okay, the Romans really admired the Greeks. That's why Roman architecture, Roman art, Roman music, Roman writing, it was all very related to the early Greeks. Okay? They basically did worship mostly the same Greek gods originally. Oh, there's a word that's funny, like the word Venus. Venus. Who is Venus? Venus was the god of love, okay, in Roman history. But Venus was named from Aphrodite. Aphrodite was the Greek goddess of love. So there are many English words that have the letters V-E-N in them. V-E-N. Can you think of any V-E-N words in English? Vendor, let's see, is that one on here? That's a different one. I don't think that's from the same root, but keep going. Give me some more V-E-N words. Any other V-E-N words? Like, what about this word? Venom. What is venom? Venom is poison, that's right. But the original word venom is related to Venus. Venus was the goddess of love and sexual desire, right? And so when you chase after that too much, that's bad. That's like a poison. That's venom. So the word venom actually means it means a poison that came from love potions. It was about love potions. They believed that you took a poison that made you fall in love. It was venom. So even the word venom comes from Venus. And what else? How about the word Vadim, you'll know this word, venereal. Venereal means having to do with the sexual organs or sexual parts of your body, right? A venereal disease. Also from Venus. Venus, the goddess of love. That's why it's a venereal disease. And what about the word venerable? Or venerate. Venerable or venerate. If someone is venerable, it means they're worthy of respect. So the word venerable comes from the idea that, like Venus, Venus is worthy of respect. Venus is worth worshiping. You worship Venus, the goddess. So if Venus is worth worshiping, then anything that is venerable is worth worshiping. Okay? Or how about the word win? To win. What does win mean? I win. Victory. And the idea was love is like a hunt. Love is like a hunt. And when you have victory, when you get your woman, you won. So even the word win comes from Venus, the goddess of love, because when you get your woman, you won. It's Venus. And how about the word venison? Do you know what venison is? What's venison? Many of you probably don't know that word, venison. Meat. That's right. It's deer meat. Deer meat. Okay, if you hunt deer, then the meat is called venison. And again, it's the idea of hunting is like chasing after a woman. It's a hunt. So the word venison also is related to Venus, the goddess of love, because hunting is like chasing. Okay? And last one. Here's my last word for today. Even the word wish. Wish. What is a wish? It's something that you hope for. It's a desire. It's a desire. It's something that you want. So Venus was the goddess of desire. Venus was the goddess of desire. So, Rayanne, a long time ago, yes, Rayanne, hunting and chasing women a long time ago, that was often the way that they talked about it. Okay, I'm not saying that's how it is now. I'm saying that in the words, these are old words, Rayanne, okay? And so, yes, that's how they thought about love. Love was like chasing after an animal to hunt. You sometimes you catch it and sometimes you don't. Right? Sometimes the animal gets away. Right? Sometimes you're not good enough for that animal. Okay? So don't take it like an insult. I'm not calling women animals, all right? I'm just saying that the Greeks and the Romans, they often talked about love like it's a chase, like it's a hunt. They talked about love that way. That's how they talked about it, okay? Not just the Romans. Everybody did back then, okay? But not now. Of course, not now, all right? I'm only explaining the words, okay? Unfortunately, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, guys, I mean, look, it's true. It is like a hunt, and you don't always win when you hunt. Do you always, catch an animal? Do you always kill an animal when you go hunting? No. Sometimes you go out and you don't get anything. That's like when you're trying to find a woman. Sometimes you go out and you don't get anything. It's a hunt. Okay? You should take it like almost like a compliment, really. It means that you're too good to catch. You're too good. You can't be caught. Gaia's over here in my YouTube now. Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. Okay, so guys, I went through a lot of words today. Oh, wish. We didn't talk about wish. Wish. What is a wish? A wish is a desire. It's something you want. It's a hope. Just like Venus is the goddess of desire. Okay? The goddess of desire. What does relinquish mean? Relinquish means to give up or desert or abandon something, right? To give up, basically. The original word relinquish comes from the Latin word relinquare, meaning to leave behind, to give up. So it means leave. Relinquish means I'm going to relinquish my duties as teacher. So that means I'm done, but I'm going to keep, somebody else is going to teach now. I'm relinquishing my duties to someone else. So that means I am leaving my duties back to somebody else. Okay? Abdicate is slightly different. Abdicate means to give up more unwillingly. Or, wait, let me check. There is another meaning too. Abdicate means to renounce. Renounce. So relinquish and abdicate are similar but not the same. Relinquish means to give up. Abdicate means to renounce. Like, you are not my children anymore. I renounce you. I have abdicated my duties as parent. I've relinquished you. That means to give up, right? So you can use them both. Okay? Whip up, Boda, is a slang term that means to create or make or build. So if I say I'm going to whip up some energy or I'm going to whip up some pancakes, means I'm going to make some pancakes. All right? I'm going to whip up some happiness, means I'm going to create some happiness. Okay? Thank you, Ornella. I'm glad. The king abdicated his throne means to give up his throne. Right. But relinquish could be, abdicate is usually something that you pronounce yourself. Relinquish could be something that you choose or somebody chooses for you. Saeed, mundane? Is mundane the same as normal? No. Mundane means boring, plain. Mundane is boring. Okay? Normal, regular, plain, boring. If I say, these activities are so mundane, it means they're like, you know, like brushing your teeth. It's something everybody does, but it's not special. It's mundane. Okay? Can you abdicate from your responsibilities? You can. Yeah, you abdicate your duties, you abdicate your responsibilities, and that means to renounce. The original meaning is ab means off, and dicare means to proclaim. So you're saying, it's not mine anymore, not my problem. That's what abdicate means. Okay? It means off or away from. Off or away from. That's the ab part. And then dicare meaning to proclaim. So it's like disavowing, rejecting, disowning. Okay? So yes, you can abdicate your responsibilities. You can say, this isn't my problem anymore. I'm done. I abdicate my responsibilities to this. Okay? Yeah, without from. That's right. You could say, I abdicate myself from this. I abdicate my duties. I abdicate... Yeah. Mm-hmm. It depends on how you're using it, but yes. And instigate means to start a problem, to start a fight, is to instigate. From the instigatus, meaning instigare, meaning to urge on or to incite. So to instigate means like, come on, fight me. Come on, let's go. Fight me. Let's go. You and me, let's fight. I am instigating a fight. I'm telling you I want to fight. Okay? Instigate a doubt in someone. Yes. If you're meaning like to create doubt, then yes, you could use it that way. I believe you could, yeah. Let me check on something. Yeah, you can instigate safety measures. You can instigate a fight. You can instigate protesters. They've been instigating the protesters recently. Or to instigate a demonstration means to start, to get it started. You were the first one, then everybody came. Okay? So yes, you can instigate a doubt. Sure. Or instigate doubt. You don't need the A. You could use the A if you want a doubt. But if you just use doubt as an uncountable, then you can say to instigate doubt. Like a feeling. Okay? Is astute the same as sharp? Astute means it's like smart, but like it means that you know a lot and that you're quick and that you understand things clearly. You're astute. You understand things well. Okay? To be astute means to be smart and to understand things well. Okay? Sharp can be a bunch of different meanings. Sharp can be smart, sharp can be good looking, or sharp can be, ow, it's sharp. Instigate and antagonize and provoke. They are similar, but they are slightly different. To antagonize means... That's another fun one. Antagonize comes from... Hello, go. Greek. Antagonizethai. Ooh, that's a bad one. Antagonizethai, meaning to struggle against. So anti means against, and the second part of the word means to try to win a prize, to struggle to win a prize, to contest to win a prize. So antagonize means to compete with, but that's the original meaning. Now it means to try to bother somebody so that they want to fight. Okay? So to instigate and to antagonize can be related, can be together. I'm going to instigate a fight by antagonizing this person. So I'm going to start a fight by bothering this person. To antagonize means to bother or to annoy because you want to fight. Okay? So oftentimes when people want to instigate a fight, they will antagonize you. Provoke is a more general word that also means to try to get a response, to provoke. But provoke could be many different things. Okay? Yeah, some of these are hard. You're right. Some of these are hard. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I gotta eat something. I'm hungry. But before I go, I hope you guys had fun learning some words. Here is my website. I'm sorry, my YouTube. Here's my YouTube. Here's my website. And here is my blog. Okay, now I could have gone on and on and on and on and on today. I know about a lot of words, but it's fun. That's why I know, because it's fun. All right, if you study this just a little bit, you'll find so many interesting stories. It's fun. Anytime you can make learning fun, that helps. Okay? Valentine's Day is not yet, Waleed. Valentine's Day is February 14th. Today is February 2nd. Today is Groundhog's Day, not Valentine's Day. Groundhog's Day is a different holiday, very different holiday. All right. Thank you very much. I'm glad you had fun. Thank you, Vadim. Thank you, Walid. Thank you, Samira. Thank you, Ornella. All right. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. Come back and see me again tomorrow. Maybe I'll do some more etymology tomorrow. I like it. So I know many people think it's boring, but it's fun for me. So, okay, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.